However, I'm fortunate to be working with one of the top executives in the company that can explain everything. And I'm going to be having a few of my friends over tomorrow evening, and you state the time, and I'd like him to come by just to hear the information. That's all you need to say. Don't get into the deregulation of energy and technology and this and that. It's not necessary. Keep it simple. Can you keep it simple? Yes. And that's all you do. You let them know that you just got involved with a company, and that's what you're doing, and you're going to be having a few of your closest friends over tomorrow evening for them just to hear the information. That's it. Now, if someone says, I'm not interested, you leave them alone. If someone says, yes, it sounds good, and I will be there. If someone says, it sounds good, but I've been in these things before, and blah, 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 explain it. Don't try to explain anything. You simply let them know, I'm glad you asked a question, but since I'm new to this, and because the person that's coming to do the presentation has had so much success, has earned one of the top positions in the company, and is responsible for the company expanding across the globe, doing almost €500 million in revenue, you could never think of anyone better to answer your question. That's why you need to be there. Is that clear? Mm-hmm. Now, let them know I was just introduced to the business myself, so I'd rather not try to explain. I can tell you this, it involves the essentials that people use every day. It was featured on NBC primetime reality show. One of the top executives is coming over. You really need to see this the way I did, based on our relationship. Trust me enough. Respect me enough just to come to hear what I'm doing. Can you do that? Now, in my speech, did I say anything about the services, and did I go into any massive explanation of anything? It's not necessary. Keep it simple. Can we do this? Yes. Now, it's not that you're trying to be evasive. You're not trying to do that. But you are trying to establish a system that can be duplicated easily. Is that clear? Now, so as a new independent business owner, if you can be coachable enough to do the peeking and the inviting, and don't get into any question and answer session and trying to explain anything, you're going to have massive success in this business. I sat on a plane once, traveling from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, heading into New York. I met this lady, and I spoke to her about the business, briefly, a little bit about the business. And once I found out that she was in the healthcare business, I stopped talking to her about the business. I started to edify my son. And then I told her, you know what, he's going to be picking me up at the airport. I really need to introduce you guys. And all happened as the focus shifted from me to my son. Now, at the time, he was an executive team trainer. So I'm an RVP, but I'm edifying an executive team trainer. I could have explained the business to her, do you think? But I chose not to. So when she came, when he came to the airport and they met, and they were introduced, they made arrangement to sit down and go over the business. So he went, met with her, and then he invited her to come to the weekly meeting. When she came to the weekly meeting and she heard the presentation, she was blown away. And then somebody started to talk about this gentleman that we are very fortunate to have this evening, and they went on, and then they invited me to come and speak at the end. And then she said, I never knew that you were in the business, much more to have such a lucrative position, and you never explained the business to me. I said, no, I never did that. And there's a reason, because I want to establish something that can be duplicated easily. Is that clear so far? Yes. So even though you may be tempted to go on and start explaining it, you're going to hurt your business long term if you do that. Eventually, you're going to be an expert. All right? So now, let the presenters, the experienced people do that. But number two, the other thing that you need to have is enthusiasm. People should see that there's something different about you when you're talking about your business. Like when I called one of my best friends, very wealthy young man, I called him up, he said to me, calm down, calm down. He said, I've known you all my life. And this is the first time I'm seeing you so excited. Right? He said, it's one of two things, Kempton. It's either you have seen something that is very good, which I need to see myself, or you have lost your mind. He said, so I'm going to fly into New York because I want to see what this is all about. He said, I have nothing to lose. Because if it is as good as you say it is, I'm going to join you. And if it is a case that you have lost your mind, then it is my responsibility as a friend to make sure that you are placed in a proper mental institution. So needless to say, he flew into New York, he saw the presentation, went to work, and in no time at all, he became a top 10 team coordinator. So can you do this? Yes. Can you follow the process? That's the bottom line. And now, if you are enthusiastic and you treat this business with a sense of urgency, you're going to get great results. Because, folks, you know people that you're afraid to talk to. You need to start talking to them. Don't prejudge. You never can tell. I was in Manhattan one evening doing a presentation years ago. And this little old lady walked up to me and she said, oh my God, I'm so excited about this. I looked at the lady, she was so old. And I thought, you know, with my limited experience, I thought she never fitted the profile for what's needed. So I thought she was too old to do the business. I said, who introduced you? She told me. I got on the phone and I said, why did you recruit this poor little old lady in the business? You know what she said to me? Because you told me not to prejudge. Right? I said, okay, no problem. So I went to the lady and I said, why are you doing this business? You know what she told me? She said, I have a son that is disabled. Right? There's nothing that I can pass on to my son. This is perfect. If I establish myself in this business, when I depart this life, I have something to leave for my son. I said, no problem, I'm going to help you. I said, why don't you invite some friends and I'll come and do the presentation for you. So that's what she did. She invited friends, I went, I presented them. More people came. Eventually one guy joined, flew to Sweden, and he met a singer. And that opera singer invited him to come to Sweden. And you know what? The opera singer led him to somebody who became a regional vice president in Sweden. And the old lady sat on top of all of that. Right? So it came through the old lady. So sometimes you don't know what the source. You don't know sometimes where your blessing is going to come from. Your job is to expose everybody to the business.
Yes.
Is that clear? Yes. And I see somebody doing and I know exactly what they're thinking. The moment the session is over, you're going to go look for all the old ladies. And that's what I'm right? So your job is to invite everybody. Expose everybody because you don't know who is connected to whom. Right? And once you invite them, then you confirm. Get on the phone and you confirm. Remember, Mr. Sergio, he's coming all the way from the north to meet with you. This gentleman is very, very busy. And in spite of his busy schedule, guess what? He has taken time out of his busy schedule just to meet with us. So it's a privilege to have someone like that coming to our home. Does that make sense? Yes. You confirm that he is coming, that they are coming to hear this gentleman. Now, as far as the PBR is concerned, it's a home meeting and it should be inexpensive, it should be informal, it should be non-threatening. Don't serve alcoholic beverages. Don't do it. I've had one guy who invited people to a party, and when we opened the door, all we could see is, come on in, brother, come on. People are drunk. You don't want them doing that. Because when they get sober, they're going to call you and you may not like what they say to you. Right? So you want people making the right decision. So now you have a sign-in sheet, you serve some simple snacks at the end, no alcoholic beverages, is that understood? You have some music in the place because you want to keep the energy going. You manage the climate control system to make sure that the place is cool, right? Not too hot, not too cold. You minimize the distractions. Don't keep the pets and the children around because they can be very distracting. Is that clear? Yeah. And then you have the information ready. Ready. That means your DVD should be queued up. This is no time to run to the latest store and buy a DVD, and when the guests are there, you're trying, okay, they say I should press this, turn a page so and so. No, you should have done that before. True? Yes. And so you are ready. You have the third-party documentation because there are some people that may want to see something in a magazine. Right? Some people are driven by facts and details, so you have that ready for them. So essentially, this is very, very effective. Now, when you do your PBR, your home meeting, it's okay for less people to show up than you invite. Right? If you want 50 people to attend, then you invite 200. Because some people will not show up. Is that clear? Yes. So now, when you realize that some of the people that you invite are not there, how should you feel? If you invited 20 people and 5 people show up, how should you feel?
Excited.
Very good. Suppose 2 people show up out of the 20. How should you feel? Very good. I've had people who say, you know, man, I invited 20 people and only you two guys show up, man. 32 people feel like, oh, some people must be stupid there. If I see 2 people show up and I invited 20, you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say, man, you know what? As you know, I have a lot of friends. That's what I'm gonna tell them. Guys, as you know, I have a lot of friends. But there is a reason why I invited you two. There's a reason why I still know you two. Because I want you to be the first 2 to see what I'm doing. I want you guys to have a head start on the rest of my friends. Let them feel good. Does that make sense? Yes. Let them feel special. You see, if you have something good to give to people, and some people don't know what it is and they don't show for it, should you get upset? Let me ask you guys a question. Suppose you just inherited 100 million euros. Right? You just inherited 100 million euros. And you call up 10 of your best friends. And your conversation to them is something like this. As you all know, I inherited some money. Because they're going to know. Right? Yeah. Words get around. Would you agree? Yeah. So as you all know, I inherited some money. And I always wanted to do something for my best friends. So here's what I'm going to do. Tomorrow evening, I am going to have my 10 best friends, of which you are one, over. And I'm going to put a cashier's check, right, or a certified check in your hand, in each person's hand, in the amount of 1 million euros. But the prerequisite for you to receive it, you must be there at 5 p.m. Do you think your 10 best friends are going to show up? Yes. Because guess what? They know you, and they know if they just show up at 5 p.m., they're going to receive a 1 million euro check. Do you think any of your friends are going to come late? No. If you let them know, listen, if you come 1 minute after 5, you're not going to get it. There are people that are going to camp out on your step that night. Right? And so when you talk to people about the business that you are doing, that's the thinking, that's the mindset that you need to have. You need to start believing that you have something that can enhance the quality of their lives, and you want to put it in their hands. Does that make sense? Yes. So don't be timid when you're talking to people about this business. You need to be what? Assertive. You need to be confident, because if you present this business properly, people will see the business for what it is. This is a life-changing business. When you get a chance to have an international energy and technology business, and you can operate in 23 major countries with no overhead expenses, basically, is that something to be excited about?
Yes.
No overhead. That's why I wear my hair like this. Nothing overhead. Right? Simple. And you can operate wherever you want to operate, whenever you want to operate, with whom you want to operate. Right? So now is that what you're talking about? Because I'm not going to refer to my business as that thing. Right? Yes. Because that's how you're going to refer to it. I may not let you in it. Is that clear? Yes. Okay, so now, that's pretty much what it's all about. Your job is just to learn how to build a team. Right? When they ask you a question, say that sounds like a great question, but because Sergio and Jonathan, these guys have so much information, they know the business so much, you need to be there. Right? And remember to ask them that question when you get there. Take the pressure off yourself. Can you do that? Yes. So the whole team building is not difficult. It is certainly not difficult.